one thing I will say quickly, looking back at 2 o'clock yesterday, I've taken a long in beer. It's gone straight down. So was that the best decision? Maybe not. Hey, maybe not. Okay, so I'm just going into market open. I was working on some shit, and it just goes quicker than you can imagine, you know? Before you know it, it's R2 bang on. And you're supposed to be trading. What? Fucking hell, that's them lows all the way down there. Holy shit. Okay. Back in fucking June. There's fucking way more lows before we get there. For a start, we say these ones. So be a luck. Where are these ones? Over there. Okay, we don't need to really mark out much more than that. Okay, so there's lots of lows to be hit on ES. NQ has been dumping. I think Friday's a good day for setting up for next week usually. So being patient is key as well. I've obviously got a funded account now. So I decided to take there's a new one which I never knew. So there was the old one, which is the one I always knew, which is 5 winning days of 150 plus between payouts, and you gotta have like greater profit than zero from your last payout. So that's what I used to do. Max payout 4k, but then I seen the other one, which is realistically more aligned with what I do. So the first one would the 150 plus days is usually for people who do like take a 10k trade, because then they've basically they've smashed everything realistically. I don't really trade like that. I tend to trade more consistently. I trade more consistently over like one big trade. That's just the psychology I've tried to reinforce to myself. Get my break structure trading journal out. But so the other one is like fucking max payout 6k, 40% consistency rule, three days. And it doesn't even say 3 winning days, it just say 3 trading days. But that more aligned with me, because then I could hit like 3,000 trades, 2k trades, and then I could take a payout. And it's consistency and reinforcing good psychology. That's what I'm about personally. Everyone's different. See, so London lows have been hit instantly. It's clearly a downtrend at the minute. It's clearly downtrending. There is no way to know how far it's gonna go. Continue, you know. How far does the downtrend continue? does the uptrend start now? That's something to keep in mind. People have probably just entered shorts when I look at it after this. So market opens here, 1 minute inverse fair value gap. I'm telling you now, people have taken shorts there, 100%. 100%. I'm gonna see that everywhere. People have taken shorts there. Stops above the highs, and maybe they've taken the trade on ES because there are clear lows to hit. Let's have a look. Where's that gone? Can't remember. Yeah. There's no 1 minute inverse on thing. It's only on NQ. So if they're gonna take it, they should have taken it on NQ. But if they've taken it on ES, done that, and then, oh yeah, great trade. No, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think we let price develop, see how it goes. I don't wanna. I think at the minute I'm stuck in my head is I'm looking for a reversal. I'm looking for, you know, that reversal. But will that reversal ever come? You know? And is it good to be thinking I'm looking for a reversal? So today, I'm writing in my pre-entry commitment before I've even taken the trade. See, that's why I think the pre-entry commitment is really powerful. Is because it depends on the day. Every trading day is different. Every trading day you think different things. You feel different feelings, is the truth. You do experience emotions in the market. And there's different scenarios. So that's why dependent is very specific to you. And it's very unique to you, how you use the pre-entry commitment. So yesterday, I only wrote down my pre-entry commitment yesterday as I entered the trade. Because I was prepared for the market yesterday. It was good trading. And it was maybe not the best trade or whatever, 100%. You know, we did reverse down, so not the best trade, 100%. But good psychology. It was really good psychology for me yesterday in the market. And that's why I didn't write in the pre-entry commitment. Today is the first day on the funded. So that's one factor. That's a new changing factor today. Secondly, it's a Friday. So that's another changing factor. And that's a big one. Subconsciously, that's going to affect you. So them two changing factors are enough to influence me. Full stop. Doesn't matter if it's influenced me positively or negatively, emotionally or logically. It's influencing me. So my thinking cap today is different from yesterday's thinking cap. Already it was different because it's a different trading day. But on top of that, I've now got funded and it's a Friday. Two completely new factors. So today, I want to remind myself, one, in my pre-entry commitment, I don't have to trade. You know, don't force a trade. So that's going to be the first thing. Because I have the space to write down too, you know. Don't force trade. And the other thing I wanted to write is observe, don't think. Observe, don't think. I think that's really important. That's really important to know. Because if it's going down and it's respecting downwards price action, for me to be thinking and waiting for a reversal, that's bad trading. I need to be observing not thinking. That's what's really important. So is interesting point on the market right now. We've got that respecting the bearish and that tapping back into the bullish. How did it go off the bullish? That's the interesting point. Does it respect the bullish? Does it disrespect it? If it disrespects it, that might be enough to take a trade, stops above the highs. Honestly, disrespected the 1 minute, respected the 1 minute there. It's clearly downwards price action. But I don't have to trade. I don't have to trade. But another thing is not being hesitant to trade. You know? So if I'm looking at it right now and I take the trade right this second, 75 points, targeting that low, 2 to 3, definitely is justifiable, 100%. Broke structure past the lows. Now we've got a new 1 minute a 1 minute fair value gap. See, now there's two things with this 1 minute fair value gap. It is first, if it does retrace into it, that isn't the best sign, because if it's going down, it shouldn't need to. But the second thing is, if I wanted to take a trade, I'd want to see it retrace into it, wouldn't I? You know? So at the end of the day, I can't be completely hesitant to enter. I do want to. It is looking like a good setup. It's following the higher time frame trend. I think that's what's key for me. And I don't want to be too hesitant to enter, you know? So, but the only thing that's sort of, no, actually, that's stupid logic. What I was going to say is, the only thing that's stopping me from taking a short is there's not much liquidity left on the downside. But if the market wants to go down, it's just going to go down. But also, on top of this, we've had some bearish news from yesterday. Fucking Trump saying that, like, trading's going to be basically pay to win or something, he said, wasn't it? You know? But yeah, I think not forcing, waiting for a better entry, not forcing trades. So now we've retraced into it. Like I said, if we was continuing down, I don't think the market would need to retrace into it. So maybe it swept some lows. So people might have placed an early buy order in here, assuming it's going to inverse. Boom, it swept them out. Same here, fair value gap, boom, it swept them out. Now, it's not only inverse the 1 minute on yes, which I do believe to be the stronger pair, but is looking to make a strong bullish, and I'm willing to take a long off that. It's a risky trade, but I'm in it to win it. You know, I know that sounds stupid. I'm definitely not following the higher time frame trend. Definitely a risky trade, hey, there's always something to learn in the markets as well. So if I do take a loss today, there's something I gotta take from that loss, and that's the important thing. I've got my stop loss at 528. It's literally just beneath the lows. Maybe it was one micro contract too much. I can 100% consider that option right now. It was placed at 472. There. That is at 406. Which, if you look at it, is, you know, underneath that. Profit. First potential take profit. Definitely could be marking out equilibrium. So that could be the first one, which is gonna get rid of London lows thing. First potential one would be 508. Mark that out on this side. Which would put it at roughly a 1-to-1. Next take profit would be the highs, which would put it as a 1-to-3. So we'll keep equilibrium in mind. Definitely. At the minute it is at... It is exactly... But it's a little 0.25 higher. Can remove the 11 drawings. There's no really need for them on ES at this moment in time. Equilibrium is marked out anyways, I believe. Just gonna put it down so I know where my one take profit is. Obviously the next take profit is higher. Maybe I should have taken the trade on ES. Obviously one, because that would have put me, I would have had more to risk because it costs less per micro, and secondly it was the one leading the charge, so I have taken it on the lagging index, or the index that was more bearish compared to the one that was more bullish, and I have taken a long. That's a little 2-minute imbalance there. Again, like I said, it's a bit of a nightmare actually, because ES is moving so much smoother and looks a lot better for the trade idea I've thought of compared to how NK was moving. So maybe that wasn't the brightest idea, it's taking that trade on NQ. It's about to hit equilibrium, which is a key retracement point. Also, another thing is, so this is a key point of the days. So boom, we've just broken structure past the 1 minute, meaning this is the low and this is the low. So we could put the trade to break even right now, which means we would be in a free trade, or I could trail the stop loss to 100, which also I wouldn't hate either. Because I'm marking it out on, I do like marking it out on my top step, but I need to be marking it on here to show what I'm doing. So that's the 2-minute imbalance. I've actually trailed that to 459, which puts us underneath this low and is $100 risked, and then that's the trade for the day now. So I think I'm happy with that. It's underneath the low that we wouldn't want to see it push past anyway, so that's logical point number one. Logical point number two, we're risking a lot less on this trade now, so it's gone from 528 to 100, so sort of in a free trade. And three, you could put it at break even, but I would rather risk the 100 because it is in a more logical standpoint, and it's just underneath the 2-minute imbalance as well, which would be great. Okay, so realistically, looking at that trade now from a logical perspective, how does it retest off equilibrium? It's going past the 5-minute. So we got 2 minutes until it would be a technical inversion of that 5-minute imbalance. Then we've got this small one that we just tapped into, which is higher up in equilibrium, but we're pushing past equilibrium quite strongly now. It's almost like you start looking at that now, and it's like, logically it does just continue up now. There's no way this is ultimate reversal of this standpoint. Definitely a point where putting a break even would be the play. I mean, for it to go back down all the way down there, if it's going to go all the way back down there, the truth is it makes zero sense for me to keep risking 100, because if it's going back down there, it's obviously going to continue. It's not going to go back down there and manage to carry on up. So, pardon me. So putting myself out at break even is an interesting thing to do. So I've taken along. I've honoured my commitment of I've observed, not thought, and I've thought of a trade. I didn't think. Okay, so I think. Like, what was that? Okay, so we've got the double, that 5-minute inverse, that 5-minute inverse, making the 5-minute inverse, equilibrium disrespected. I mean, it's looking very positive now. That's the truth. So my total TP is at 1606. I'm currently at 1200. It's the first trade of the eval of the funded. Definitely interesting to see how price continues on, because we could get a slight retrace to make a higher low, which would continue the uptrend, because the trend doesn't move completely entirely up. It does move in higher highs and higher lows. So something that you gotta remind yourself of whilst being in a trade is that if it starts retracing, that is how the market moves. That's how it moves. In an ideal world, it does sort of just continue up like this, but we don't live in an ideal world, and it definitely could come back down, but then You know, if your trade idea is right and we're in an uptrend, it's going to continue up, isn't it? So making sure you're not stopping yourself out when it starts retracing, because the retrace is a part of the trend. What's my thought process for the entry of today? No major low resistance lows to continue the downtrend. On top of that, Friday usually sets up good for the next week. Sets next week up. So that means, you know, Friday's the type of day that steals a bunch of low resistance liquidity, and then next week we continue the higher time frame trend of being a downtrend. Then we add an SMT, which we won't forget. SMT as well, not only that, but with ES leading, which I like to say is the stronger pay. You know, like I mentioned, I believe in my last video. SMT with ES leading. And then we had a liquidity sweep of the lows. So before it started, you know, going straight up, so it came up here, people have probably entered early here. That's the truth of it.
Order filled.
Okay, I'll get into that order filled in a second now, but I want to explain. People have probably entered early here because people are bad traders. They're too risky. They're too, you know, they're trying to get in too quick, bro. You gotta let the market play out, see how it plays out. And then what's it done? So people are probably thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna win versus that. It's gonna win versus that. So on my days. So obviously, I think a lot of people were bullish on the day, with me as well. I think that's a smart thing to say. It clearly is, because I've taken a long view and it's literally gone and hit my TP. So, you know, of course I know something. I might not know everything, but I know something. People have entered earlier, right? Buy orders, stops underneath this lows. So what does the market do? The market sweeps them lows, stops all them buyers out. All them people that have just bought have just been stopped out because they're thinking, you know, so that's what the market's done. Boom, just stole a bunch of liquidity. On top of that, then for the people who are entering shorts or looking to sell today, technically is respected this 1 minute fair value gap, bearish, closed beneath the lows. To the sellers, it's like, oh yeah, happy fucking days. It's going down, it's respecting. Let me enter a short, stops above these highs, right? So then this area is such, like, it happens so quickly, but you need to be so aware of it. So for the buyers, they've entered too early, just been stopped out. When the buyers have been stopped out, the sellers have just entered. The sellers are thinking, happy fucking days, let me get in here. What does the market then do? The sellers are in, the buyers are out, market starts moving up. Right? Then, as well, when you're looking at it, it's a bit choppy, it's a little bit choppy. Gets to this candle, or even this candle. What is key about this candle? This candle is key because if you just entered a short down here, you would have been placing your stop loss above this high. So if you entered a short here, you're placing a stop above this high. So when this candle has stopped these people that are selling out, what's the next two candles do? Straight up, And then what to do? It even creates an imbalance because it just stole liquidity. There's basically no buyers in because they all got stopped out per year. All the sellers just been stopped out per year. So what to do? It just shoots up. It just shoots up. So I think I know something. I've made 1,600 today. It's definitely a great win. How long was that trade for? Let me work it out. $12 minutes. Total P&L 1601. It is nice to win. I think it was a good setup today. I think definitely for myself personally, first day with the funded account, I was a bit more nervous to enter. You know, when I'd taken that trade and I seen 568, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit scared. Don't know how it's gonna go. But I trusted myself. I trusted my knowledge of the market. And then when I go back to analyze it even further, you know, it clearly, I know exactly what's happened. That's the truth, isn't it? So obviously I've got a 40% consistency rule, right? So obviously I could have, targeted higher and I could have made more, but I never think like that. Thinking like that is damaging to yourself in the market. That's the truth. I'm so grateful for 1,600. I don't need any more, bro. 1,600. That is a great start. That is such a good start. I couldn't have asked for a better first trading day on the eval. It's the highest win I've had, and not only that, I'm really proud because the truth is I do know what I'm doing in the market, and it mainly comes from experience. The confluence is realistically the confluence I've taken it off was a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. That realistically is the confluence I've taken it off. So it isn't realistically the confluence it's your market knowledge, and then when being in the trade, your emotional control. So, the market knowledge, I've gone through it. I'm not going to go through it again. Anyways, that is 17th of July. First trade on the funded account, 1,600. That means I need 2 more trades and I can take a payout, which is going to be needed because I need money to run my business. That is the truth. So we're going to try and take another 2 trades of the same sort of risk, 500 to 1,000. I'm not going to start fantasizing about the payout I could take. It's not a good way to think either as well. Anyways, that's today's trade. Fucking get on. Happy days. Peace out. Oh, look at my trim, bro. That's when you know I'm locked in, when my trim is like... See, I don't know what happens, boy. But like you know what I mean? I can't lie. Let me reveal the full idea. The fucking... Yo, actually rate... I know like no one's gonna see this, but rate the fucking... Holy shit, I look so chopped. Let me put it in front so I can see. Look at myself. Rate the hairline. Like, see, that's bad, innit? Holy shit, innit? Look at... Do you know when, like, you motherfuckers really got... Holy shit, look, oh my days. That looks so... Fucking hell, I look weird as fuck. Because I'm, like, far enough back, it looks like I'm so bald. Fuck, that looks well fucking off. I look fucking bald. Well, obviously. But, holy shit, boy. Look at that. Fucking 4 fingers, George. Right. What I'm trying to say is, you know when they teach you to draw in fucking art, yeah? And you have to do it. And you'd always, you do the face, and then you do the ear. Wait, you do the eyes in the middle of the head, and then the eyes are like lined up with the ears. That's literally how I look, boy. Like my eyes are in the fucking middle of my head. You know what I mean? It was like four. I'm a bit higher, but I think is this bit is like the key of the hairline. Like it should be like more like across, shouldn't it? But like it's quite like back in it. You know what I mean? Like a fucking box, Judge. That is why I've got to have a fringe. If I didn't have a fringe, I'd be cocked, innit? Anyways, right, I'll stop waffling. See you a lot in a bit. For fuck's sake, I just gotta say, bro, I've just accidentally, like, clicked on the fucking market and clicked fucking, like, buy 5. So I've just lost $37. See, that's just, you know, just... I didn't know what I was trying to do. I clicked right click because I wanted to reset, wanted to remove joins. Somehow I've just like market bought 5 instantly. Like I'm not just saying this now. Fuck. Right. So I'm back down to 15.57. That's so fucking sad to look at. Right. Anyways, I'll stop waffling now.